What's up guys, Reaches Beast here. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Project Gotham Racing 3. This is a game I've had for quite some time. I've had it ever since I first got my 360. I believe it came with the console. It's a game I've had a lot of fun playing in the past, so I decided why not go ahead and play it some for the channel. We're going to be playing a little bit in the city of Las Vegas. We're going to be doing 3 street races. First of which is going to be the it's going to be the South Strip Loop. Race will be 2 laps. I will be racing against, I believe, 7 opponents. First thing I want to show you is I'm going to show off the car that I use. It is the Lamborghini Diablo GT. This is a car that I've been using for quite some time. It is my favorite car of all the Class B cars, not only because of its looks, its specs, but mainly because it's black. I love black cars. I will be racing against medium opponents because mainly I'm not good enough to be playing against hard or expert, and I don't want to seem like a complete pussy by playing against novice. One last look at the opponents, and here we go. Again, this is going to be the first of 3 street races that I'm going to be doing in Project Gotham Racing 3, and this is actually a post commentary. This is not live commentary. I actually recorded this last night and am doing the voiceover commentary the morning after. So hopefully sometime in the future I'll be able to do live commentary on this, but the current circumstances, I was not able to do that. Countdown beginning, race number 1, here we go. You're going to notice very quickly that I will be overtaken by several of the cars in the very beginning, but one thing you'll notice, they will all start to the outside. I dive immediately to the inside of the corner. Didn't quite get through that corner very clean. They ended up passing me again, giving up my early lead. Hit the first straightaway, doing pretty good. A little bit to the outside, clipping the wall, but not enough to where I'm penalized. Get through that corner, kind of clean, clipping one of the cars. Going through the corner, currently in 3rd place. Now moving on up to 2nd, trading some paint with the cars and going down into the next straightaway. Coming up onto the corner, making a dive to the inside, overtaking the car in front of me. I'm now in 1st place. Drifting through the corner, no problems there. A little bit shaky, but staying off of the wall nonetheless. Nice drift through that corner, no problems. Hitting the next straightaway, and allowing the Diablo's engine to really do its thing. Heading into the next corner, drifting around, a little bit shaky. One of the things you really want to make sure you do, I did hit the wall, got penalized there a little bit. One of the things you want to make sure you do, especially in a game like this, if you start losing control on the drift, is let off of the accelerator and use the left thumbstick to get yourself to stabilize yourself again. Got a little too close to the inside corner there. Bounce off the wall, got a 2-second penalty, was not able to collect kudos. Kudo count is 745 as we head into the 2nd and final lap. Drifting through the corner, no problems. And again, as I was saying, if you find yourself over drifting, you want to let off of the accelerator and use the left thumbstick to stabilize your car before you head back to your accelerator. One thing you'll notice that I'm doing is going into the corners, I don't just hit the brakes, I mainly just tap them. You can see that right there, just barely tapping the brakes, going into the corner, enough to slow me down, but not enough to where it spins me out of control. Have a fairly decent lead now on some of the other cars, getting through the corners fairly easily, no problems here. Again, drifting through the corner, had to slightly restabilize myself, got a little too much power in there, but was able to recover nonetheless. Coming up to the next tight corner here. These tight corners are usually what gives me the most problem. You can see that there, was a little too fast going into the corner, bounced off the wall. Still in the lead, not by much, but it is still there. Overcompensating on that corner, braking a little bit too much, lost some speed, and more importantly, lost some time, hoping to make up for it on the straightaway as we head into the next corner. Again, a little bit too close to the inside wall, bouncing off, 2-second penalty, unable to collect kudos, and the final kudo count will be 1575 at the end of the first race. As it begins the 30-second countdown to the end of the race, at the end of that 30 seconds, any cars that do not cross the finish line will be considered DNF. And as we see the race results, first place with 8 points, and we can see now all the other cars that followed behind me. There was another Diablo GT in the race. They ended up finishing in 4th place with a total of 5 points. Now, as I was saying before, Project Gotham Racing is a game that I've been playing for quite some time. It's a game I'm fairly familiar with. As we head on over to set up the next race, the track we are going to select now is going to be the Spring Mountain. Kind of hard for me to see the screen. Will be Spring Mountain Turns. Again, it'll be 2 laps. Again, this is all in the city of Las Vegas. And here we go. Screen here talking about catching air in the game. Catching air is something I've actually managed to do a couple times, mainly in a couple of the New York tracks. I don't remember exactly which one, but I know it involved bridges. That's one thing that a lot of the New York maps have, is going across these really long bridges, and it's those really long straightaways that really allow the Diablo GT's engine to really do its thing, to really get up to speed. 5-second countdown to the beginning of race number 2, and here we go. You will notice again, I am pretty much immediately overtaken by all the other cars in the pack, but as we come up here to the first corner, you will notice they all head to the outside and go in. My tactic is usually start at the inside and go out. It is a lot easier for me to overtake the other cars that way. Heading through some pretty tight corners. Over drifting a little bit, but not enough to where I go into the wall. Slowed me down a little bit too much. Heading into another tight corner. No problems there. Hit the straightaway, allowing the engine to really flourish. Just over 1 second lead now on the car behind me. Already almost up to 1,000 kudos on the first lap. Now in this game, and especially with the Diablo, tight corners really aren't my strong point. As I said before, the straightaways are really bouncing off the wall there. The straightaways are really where I can really allow the Diablo's engine to really get up to and maintain that speed. Just under a 2-second lead now as we head into the second lap. Kudo count is 1063. Bouncing off the wall there. Losing control of the car, that is something that's fairly easy for me to do in the Diablo, especially on these tight corners. Once I get the hang of it, though, it's a lot easier for me to control the car. Currently a 1.5 second lead on the car behind me. That lead was significantly decreased as I bounced off the wall again there. Again, you can see just tapping the brake, going into the corners, not holding it down into a drift. Now just a half-second lead, thanks to bouncing off of the wall a bit further back. Drifting around that corner, no problems there as we head on into, well, we're already in the second lap, correction. End of the race, finishing first again. Final kudo count for that race will be 1751. And again, the 30-second countdown to the end of the race. Any cars that do not finish will be counted as DNF at the end of that 30 seconds. And again, as we head to the scoreboard, GTR and the S7 following in second and third. The Diablo GT, MC12 following in fourth and fifth. As we get ready for the third race. Again, this loading screen here talking about drafting. Drafting is something is a tactic that I use quite often, especially when I'm in the Diablo. It allows you to get behind a car and allows you to use I guess, I'm not exactly sure the whole physics behind it, but something about the airstream behind the car, there's less drag or something like that, and it allows you to gain on them due to the fact that there's less air resistance, and allows you to come up on them and eventually overtake them. This loading screen talking about 360s. Not sure why you would be doing 360s in a street race. It seems kind of pointless unless you were all by yourself and weren't racing against other people. But then again, why would you do that? That's kind of boring. No one wants to watch that. 5 seconds now to the beginning of the third and final race for today. Here we go. Once again, being overtaken almost immediately by pretty much every other car. And again, diving to the inside and going out is my tactic instead of starting at the outside and going in to the corner. It allows me to overtake the cars a lot more easily. As we hit the first straightaway, again, this is where the Diablo's engine really tends to flourish, is on those straightaways. Getting through the corners, no problems there. A little bit, I kind of lost control on that one corner, nothing too bad. 2-second lead at the first time marker. Drifting through that corner, beautiful drift around the corner, if I do say so myself. Heading into the next one, no problems there. A little close to the inside wall, but managed to stay off it nonetheless. As we head into the castle, hey, nice castle, reminds me of medieval times here in Dallas. Here, bouncing off the wall, mainly because I was confused as to where I was supposed to go. Lost a little bit of time, but not too bad. Currently have, well, we're about to find out here. Current lead is right around, oh well, maybe not. Last time marker had a 3.5-second lead on the car behind me. Kudo count will be 732 as we head into the second lap of the final race of the day. 4-second lead now on the car behind me, drifting around the corner. Lost a little bit of speed, but not too bad. Still have a comfortable lead. And for those of you who might be wondering, I am currently using an automatic transmission. The gears are shifting by themselves. I really don't like using a manual, either in video games or real life. Kind of losing control of the car there, but did manage to save it. Anyway, like both in video games and in real life, I do prefer an automatic transmission. It allows me to focus more on... It allows me to focus more on the road and actually controlling the car than having to turn my attention to shifting gears. It's a lot easier for me, both in reality and virtually. Got a little too close to the wall there, ended up bouncing off of it. 2-second penalty, not able to collect any kudos for 2 seconds. Not a big deal though. Drifting around the corner, bouncing off the wall, put a little too much power on it. Nothing too bad though, still have a comfortable lead. Hitting the straightaway, GT's engine is absolutely powering, topping out at 133 miles per hour on that straightaway as we head into the final straightaway to the finish line. Final kudo count for the third and final race of the day will be 1697, and the Diablo GT proves victorious across all 3 races here in Las Vegas. 30-second countdown will not expire. All cars will finish the race, and that will be the end of this video. Once again, this has been Project Gotham Racing 3, one of my favorite racing games of all time. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys would like to see. If you'd like to see me play more of this, I do plan on doing some live commentary of this game sometime in the future. And other than that, I will talk to you guys next time. Peace out.